This call is now being recorded. This call is now.
Hello, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited. So we may have just a few more people rolling in. Just trying to make sure I remember all the things. I pressed record, so we are good there. And I'll just might be letting people in for a few minutes here, but I want to honor your time. So I'm just going to get rolling right away here. All right, I want to make sure, so just give me thumbs up if you don't mind. I want to make sure, can you see my PowerPoint and can you see me? Thank you. Oh, look at those fun things. Can you guys see those fun things going on the screen? There's raised hands. So should I answer them now? Yeah, let me answer them now. No, is it not a raised hand? Michelle, you have a question? Hi, girls. I'm so glad you're here.
Yes, we could see in here.
Thank you. Okay. All right, let's get rolling. So thank you for coming tonight to my soft launch, my virtual soft launch party. I'm truly, truly honored that you all are here. You're taking time out of your very busy schedules and to be here with me. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm so excited to share this program with you all. We have done 2 pilot programs and now we are ready for the soft launch program. So just to give you a little bit of the agenda for tonight, I will start by just giving you a little bit of my background and my story, and then I will move into talking about the actual program itself. And then we have some special guests that are going to be speaking and giving their testimonials, women who have gone through the program with me. So they're going to talk a little bit about their experience, and then we'll move on to we'll move on to questions, and then what is next. So I'm hoping definitely to keep this under an hour. I'm thinking probably 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Okay. So before I start, are there any questions? And if you have questions, just raise that little hand button. It should be at the bottom of your screen. For those of you who maybe are not familiar with Google Chat, it's very similar to or Google Meet. It's very similar to Zoom, but there should be a little hand. And if you have a hand, feel free to raise it. And I will answer questions at any time. You can interrupt me at any time just with that hand raised. If you want to do comments like in the chat, feel free to get in there and like chat away to each other. I'll try to go back and answer questions through there later, or sometimes, you know, if I can scoot over and answer them then, that's fine too. So whatever you're more comfortable with, you do. All right, let's get rolling. So for those of you who do not know me, my name is Tania Bertolone. I am a certified wellness coach, and I'm also an educator. I've been in education for over 20 years. I am also an entrepreneur. So this is my third business I've had, actually. I love, love, love to start businesses, and being an entrepreneur is like one of my favorite things in the world. But recently I had a homeschool enrichment program for the last 3 years. It was amazing. I loved it. We were doing really, really well. But this came into my life, and it was pulling me in different directions. And I decided to focus here on the Divine Design Weight Loss Program. So I am the creator of the Divine Design Weight Loss Program. And I just put a couple of my favorite things here. So in the middle, this is my husband, Michael, and my daughter, Giada. She's 14. My husband and I just celebrated our 15th year anniversary, which was super amazing. Thank you for the celebration. Oh, we have someone from Billings, Montana. Marge, hello from Billings. This is my dog, Dozer. He's with me all the time, except right now because he's afraid of, I have this like light here and he's afraid of it. So he's somewhere else. And he's the one I walk with. He's my walking buddy. So he sprints with me. He walks with me every single day. He's wherever I am under my feet, unless we are on vacation. And then he's with my parents who are here. If you can find my mom, she can wave. Mom, you can wave. She's here supporting me, and my dad's here supporting me as always. Thank you. So, and then I put this picture of this lobster martini because food is a big part of my life. I'm Italian. I'm a foodie. I love to cook. I love to eat. And so I think that's important for you to understand that, you know, I've recently lost 40 pounds and I love to eat. And so if you love to eat the way I love to eat, you're good. You're going to be fine. So yes, eating is a big part of my life. I love to go to local restaurants. I love to travel and go to restaurants, and I love to try new food. So that's a big part of my life as well. All right, it begins. So let me tell you a little bit about my story. This was me in October of 2024. And then on the right here, that's me in March of 2025. So I'm 5'2", so I'm a shorty. And really my whole life, like I was just, you know, I was a small person. You know, I was very athletic. I you know, did a lot of things. I was very active, never really worried about my weight in my, you know, and then obviously like when I got to be about 20 or so, you know, I had to start watching my weight. And so I kind of went on this roller coaster of Weight Watchers is honestly what I did for years. You know, I'd gain like 10 pounds and then I'd go on Weight Watchers and lose it. And that was my life. That was my cycle. Like that's what I did when I married my husband. We did the same thing. It worked out just fine for us. And that's what I did really to maintain. And then I hit 40 and or 2020 happened. So, you know, there's a lot of different things, right? And I was doing everything the same, right? Except actually probably better because I was actually working with a nutritionist. I was eating macros. I was working out every single day. all organic food, non-GMO, you know, the whole thing, like all the things you're supposed to do. And I just kept gaining weight. And I had never really been like quote unquote overweight. I think the most overweight I had been was maybe like 20 pounds. And it was rapid. I mean, it was fast. I gained so much weight so fast. I didn't know what was going on. And it was truly, I mean, first of all, I went to lots of different doctors trying to figure out, they thought it was lupus. They thought it was like all these different things. They were testing my blood and they're like, nope, you're good. It's just perimenopause. It's just age. And I was like, really? Like this is going to be my life. But I knew it was something different. Like I really, really knew there was something going on with me and we just hadn't figured out what that was. So in addition to the weight, which I want to say, you know, very honestly, it was like a really difficult time for me as far as, you know, I mean, I would walk by, first of all, I would see people that I hadn't seen in a couple of years. Nobody recognized me. I would have to say like, oh, it's Tanya, because I didn't want them to feel embarrassed. I would see myself like passing in a mirror or a window like of a store. And I'm like, who is that? I mean, it was really hard. You know, I had to get all new clothes. Nothing fit me. It was terrible. And I thought, this is just me. And I tried like the self-love thing, really and truly, you guys. I was like, I'm just going to love myself this way. My husband, you know, he loved the whole thing. He didn't care one bit. But I did. And I didn't feel good. That was the bigger thing. So yes, the weight is one thing for sure, but I didn't feel good. I would wake up in the morning and my fingers were always swollen. My ring did not fit me. I couldn't wear my ring anymore. My fingers just felt like really stiff all the time. I had this weird flushing that would happen to me, like very randomly. I would try to figure out what it was. It would just, my cheeks would suddenly get so red. Apparently that's a form of a hot flash. You can get flushes too. I didn't get like the hot flash where you're like, oh, like I didn't get that or sweat. I would just get this weird flushing, but then I would have this like pressure that would come and it would like push on my ears and push in the back of my eyes. And I mean, I was so uncomfortable, bloated, you know, the whole thing. Like, anyway, so after all my testing, finally, I'll be honest with you, and no judgment to anyone who's gone this route, but I'm a person who does not even take Advil. Like I do not like, you know, I avoid medicine at all costs. I don't do well with it. But I was like this close to getting on the shot, like whether it was Ozempic or something like that. I was terrified, but I was like, I don't know what else to do. I was beside myself and I'm watching all these people around me lose all this weight. And I'm like, here's me, like so uncomfortable, so miserable, so embarrassed. And I went for like a regular checkup to a nurse practitioner. And I told her, I was like, I'm really considering this because I don't know what else to do. And I think because I told her that, she did, you know, the regular tests and she tested my insulin, which most doctors, ladies, you need to understand this. When you go and get your regular blood work done, they are not testing your insulin. They are testing your glucose. And your glucose will look very normal for a long time until it's not normal. Okay, so it's going to look, yep, you're good, you're good, you're good. Oh, you're not good. And the reason it stays normal without getting into too much learning in this moment is because your insulin is in the background working its tail off to keep it that way. Okay. So she tested my insulin and I get my test results back. And I have had also high cholesterol since I was 7 years old and weighed like 40 pounds. Okay. It runs in my family. I've never been worried about cholesterol. Of course, my cholesterol was high like it always is, but she tagged me insulin resistance. And I was like, what is that? And she was like, oh, nothing. It's fine. You did like, it just really blew me off, to be honest, and was like, I'm going to put you on a statin. And I was like, no, you're not. Well, you can, but I'm not going to take it. Something else is wrong. Something's wrong. And I was like, and that began my deep dive. And I started with a book by Dr. Aseem Malhotra and learned a lot about insulin resistance. And then I found a nutritionist that I work with. And then I found a metabolic professor that I started working with. So I started this deep dive into learning. And that is how it all went down. And I'll explain more to you as we go on. But so this October of 2024, you guys, March of 2025, and this was late October. Okay. So we're talking like October 30th, like if I looked at the date, like 27, something like that. And this picture on the right, that was on my birthday, which is March 8th. So this is the beginning of March. So we're talking like less than 6 months. All right. And I lost the majority of my weight in less than 6 months. So this is a before and after. This was me again in October of 2024. And then this was me in the same exact outfit in April of 2025. Okay, just to give you an idea of, you know, the things that had changed in me. Thanks, Mama. I saw that heart. All right, so here's the thing. I thought I was broken, ladies. I thought I was broken. I thought, this is me. This is my life. I got to live with it. And I wasn't broken. I was not broken. And I want to tell you all that think you're broken. I'm going to try to tell you without tearing up. You're not. You are not broken. Insulin is to blame. Okay. Insulin is to blame. And here's the thing. It's not really insulin's fault. We don't want to make insulin to be like a devil. It's not. We need insulin. But with our modern diet and our food system, we have gotten into a really unhealthy place metabolically. And unfortunately, the majority of doctors aren't caught on yet, right? They're still stuck on like high cholesterol when really they need to be focusing on metabolic health. Okay. And that's what the Divine Design weight loss program focuses on. It focuses on metabolic health and balancing your insulin and balancing your glucose. All right, so a mini lesson. I'm not going to get too deep for you, but I do want to make sure you understand what this program is all about and why it works so well and what we've all been missing. It's literally the missing piece of the puzzle that we've all been searching for, that we're all like, why can't I lose the weight anymore? Why do I feel like crap? It is not your age. It is not perimenopause and menopause. Yes, that is adding to it, but it is really insulin. It is really our metabolic health and insulin. So let's talk about the role of insulin, because again, it is not the bad guy here. We need it. So mostly when we think about insulin, you probably are thinking of like a type 1 diabetic, right? I mean, that's the only time I had ever heard of insulin, right? Is, oh, when you're a T1D, you need insulin, right? Here are the roles. So insulin lowers your blood sugar, right? So after you eat, especially carbohydrates, but also protein, you're going to get a rise in your blood sugar because you're going to have glucose in your blood. Your pancreas will release insulin, and that helps to take the sugar out of your blood and pull it into your muscles, okay? Pulls it into your muscles, fat, liver cells, okay? So the result is then your blood sugar will go back down, all right? That's how our system works. That's how it's supposed to work. It also stores energy. So if your cells already have enough energy in them, then insulin will say, just hold on to that. Okay. It's actually a survival mechanism. Insulin has a lot of really wonderful roles as well, but it is a survival mechanism for back in our primal days when we didn't have food, you know, at every stop in the world or have it delivered to our house. When we couldn't get our food all the time, insulin was there to help save us. And it said, hey, your body, you're good. I'm just going to hold on to this stuff for a while. Okay. So it stored the extra as what we call glycogen. Okay. So glycogen is short-term storage. So you've got glucose, that's your quick energy. And then you've got glycogen, and that's stored glucose, and it stores it in your liver and in your muscles. Okay. Then we go one more, our bodies, because they are so divine and so intelligent, we also store it as fat. Now, I know we're like, yeah, that's what we don't want. True. However, we don't need it so much anymore, but we needed fat, right? When we couldn't access it so quickly, we needed to have that there, and that's what it's there for. So after your body fills up with glycogen, then insulin goes, well, I'm going to store this now as fat. Okay. And that is how it works. Insulin actually prevents fat burning. That is its job. It is supposed to do that to save you from starving. Okay. So when your insulin is high, your body literally stops burning fat for fuel. It will not burn fat because it's trying to save you. So your body will prioritize using any of the sugar that's floating around instead. Okay. Insulin also signals growth and repair. So it's not just about sugar. It's actually a growth hormone, and it helps your body repair tissues and build muscles when it's used appropriately. Teenagers actually have high insulin, and they should, because they are growing so fast. So their insulin is naturally higher than ours. It should be, especially if they're eating the right way, again, because they're growing so quickly. All right, because I'm a teacher and I cannot help myself, I want to make sure that I ask questions at certain points. So at this point, what questions do you have at this point? If you have one, raise your hand, or you can just unmute. I want to make sure you have a clear understanding of the role of insulin. All right, seeing none, I'm going to move on to the next very important part here. And that is your body's fuel system. And ladies, this is where the magic happens, okay? So your body is fueled in this order. And it's not like in this exact order all the time, like this is first and this is second, okay? But this is the general order that it happens. First, you will burn glucose. Then you will burn glycogen. Remember, glycogen is stored glucose. It's stored in your muscles and your liver, okay? Then it burns fat. That is the order. It burns fat in the form of ketones. We'll talk about that in a second, okay? So I eat something. I've got glucose in my body, right? Let's say it's floating around. I'm going to first burn through all my glucose. If I burn through all my glucose, then my body's like, whoa, I need more energy. I'm going to dip into glycogen. So it's going to release that glycogen. We call it a glycogen drop. And I'm going to get through that glycogen. Once you burn through the glycogen, then and only then will your body dip into the fat. Okay? Looking at my notes, I probably just said all that, so I'll say it again. Okay, so after eating, your body burns the glucose from your food for immediate energy, right? When the glucose runs out, taps into the glycogen stores. That's in your muscles and your liver. And then once your glycogen is completed, the liver goes, whoa, I don't have any glucose. I don't have any glycogen. I got to dip into my long-term storage. So what the liver does is it starts grabbing your fat and it chops it up into these little pieces called ketones. And then ketones can be used as your primary source of fuel. And that's where the magic happens, ladies. So what does that mean for you? It means if you can figure out how to burn through all of your glucose and all of your glycogen, then you will be a fat burning machine. And that's why you're here. And that's what I'm going to teach you. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about insulin resistance. Okay. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, let me something's on my mind. I want to go back to this. I want to talk a little bit more about ketones, because ketones are, your body loves ketones. Okay. So your brain, there are some parts of your body that need to run on glucose. There are parts of your brain, your iris, I believe it is, your medulla in your kidney, parts of your ovaries, they need glucose, okay? But the rest of your body loves to fuel itself from ketones. When you are in ketosis, the parts of your brain that don't need glucose, that are running on ketones, you become so crystal clear. It's almost weird. My ladies that are in my group are probably going to laugh at me because they see this in the videos, but for me, I feel like Edward from Twilight or Bella from Twilight, the vampire, you know, when they get like that super sense where they're outside, it's like, woo, woo, woo. Like that is what it felt like the first time I was in ketosis, and like for an extended period of time. So your brain loves ketones. It burns it very well. Your heart loves to fuel itself on ketones, and the rest of your body as well. So when you are in ketosis and you are burning ketones for fuel, because you've already burned through glucose, you've already burned through your glycogen, and now your body is grabbing the fat from your body, converting it into ketones, and you're running on ketones, and it's happy. It's really happy. So I want to make sure I told you that before we move on to insulin resistance. What is it? All right. So here's what happens is when we eat the way the world has us eating, right? And we are eating processed foods. And I'll tell you, I wasn't eating a lot of processed foods because remember, I was eating macros. So rice, I was eating but very like all measured, right? I would measure like a cup of rice or a half a cup of rice or rarely pasta. Mostly I was doing rice, and I didn't eat a ton of processed foods. But the way that we eat, even the fruit, ladies, we have so much glucose, free floating glucose. And then our body's like, okay, I have too much. Let me turn it into glycogen. And then it's like, whoa, I've got too much of that. Let me turn it into fat. So your body is doing that, right? And then you're continuing to eat this way because we don't know any better. This is how we were taught to eat, right? And then you just have more and more glucose in your body, and your insulin's like, oh my gosh, I've got to pump. Your pancreas is just pumping it out. And what happens is your cells stop responding to the insulin. Dr. Ben Bickman, who's the professor I was telling you about, he uses the example of his kids, which reminds me, because I'm a teacher, of my students. And like, the first day of school, you're there and everyone's like, oh, Mrs. Bertolone. You're like, yes. Like, how can I help you? And then by the end of the day, you're like, I can't even hear them anymore. Like, you just like stop hearing them. It's kind of like that, right? So your cells, it's like too noisy for them. They're full. They can't take anymore. So they stop responding to insulin. And then what happens is sugar can't get into the cells easily anymore. So your blood sugar is staying high. And because your blood sugar is staying high, your pancreas is producing more insulin. And when you have so much insulin floating around your body, this is what leads to the weight gain, the cravings, the fatigue, the inflammation, and so many chronic illnesses. You can't even believe it. Here are some of them. Heart disease. So in Dr. Seema Holtra's book and many other metabolic doctors and cardiologists, they believe that insulin resistance is the common thread among heart disease. Some people have heart disease, heart attacks, and have super low cholesterol. Some have super high. They can't find a stable number there. They all have insulin resistance, okay? So high blood pressure, clogged arteries, increased risk of heart attacks, brain and neurological disorders. Alzheimer's, we know this is just type 3 diabetes, you guys. It's just sugar in the brain. It's too much glucose in the brain because every body processes glucose different. So some people, gain a bunch of weight. Some people get Alzheimer's. Some people get heart disease. Some people get cancer. It's everyone's body handles it differently. And these are all the things that it causes. So cognitive disease, decline, memory problems, again, type 3 diabetes, cancer, so higher rates of breast, colon, pancreatic, and prostate cancers, obviously obesity and metabolic syndrome, chronic inflammation, reproductive health disorders, ladies, PCOS, infertility, hormonal imbalances. Hello, we should not be in the position that we are in. We have all these young ladies who can't get pregnant. That's not normal. That's not divine. That's not how it was meant to be. But because our bodies, it's PCOS is just too much sugar in the ovaries, too much sugar in the reproductive system. Our hormones are all imbalanced because we have too much sugar going on in our thyroid and everywhere else. It's all from too much glucose, too much glycogen, and then too much insulin. That's what the story is that we've all been searching. That is it. And of course, type 2 diabetes, which is like kind of just normal, right? Oh, when you get older, you have type 2 diabetes. No, it's not normal. Pre-diabetes, I was pre-diabetic. Insulin resistance is essentially pre-diabetic. I was pre-diabetic at 46 years old. That's crazy. And I'm a person who worked out every day, my whole entire life, eating well, eating healthy, and I was insulin resistant. Crazy. All right. So how can we fix this? So through the Divine Design Weight Loss Program, I will teach you how to do all of these things. This is what the program is built on. So stabilizing your blood sugar. So I'm going to teach you how to eat in a way that will keep your blood sugar super steady. No more spikes and crashes. How many of you get tired and ready like at like 2 o'clock, that 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock hour where you're like, oh gosh, or you eat something and you're like, oh, I'm just so tired. That's not normal, ladies. That's not normal, but we think it's normal because we're like, oh, that's happening to all, we get tired at 2 o'clock because we're in our 40s or 50s. No, it's not normal. It's because our blood sugar is not stabilized. And I'm telling you what, now that I was hitting that crash, I am telling you, I was hitting that crash. I'd be sitting down working and I'm like, oh my, and I don't drink caffeine. So like, I can't drink caffeine to like wake myself up. I don't feel well when I drink caffeine. So I just had to like, suffer through it. Now that I have my glucose balanced, I don't get the crashes. I never get the crashes. I'm going to also teach you how to burn through your glycogen stores. So glucose is one thing. Your glycogen stores is another, because once you burn through your glycogen, then your body has to burn fat. It has to, and turn it into ketones. So once glycogen is depleted, your body naturally shifts to burning fat for fuel, which leads to weight loss, healing, more energy, and so many other amazing things. It literally melts. It melts off your body. You won't believe it. It's crazy. Okay. So before we move on to our testimonials, what questions do you have? Marge.
Can you hear me now?
Got you. Hi, Marge. It's nice to see you.
Hi there. Hey, so do you have to burn through that then daily? Is that, or do you reach that point and then you stay there?
Really good question. So remember, everything is a cycle. Okay. So when I eat something, and even when you eat protein, so protein gets broken down into glucose. So all the people out there that are like, you need carbohydrates, you don't, because your body actually will turn protein into glucose through a process called glyconeogenesis. Okay. So let's say I have some eggs and a steak or something, or a bird, whatever I eat. My body's going to turn it into glucose right away. That's what it does. Although when you do protein, it takes longer for that to happen, which is a good thing. That's why you're not getting those spikes. So it turns it into glucose. Depending on how full my glycogen is, my body will use up that sugar right away. And then if it uses it all up and I have some glycogen stores, remember, you want some, because there are those parts of your body that need glucose to function. So you want to have some glycogen or some glucose, but then your body's like, okay, well, I don't have any free floating glucose. I've only got a little bit of glycogen. I'm going to dip into my fat. And that process happens, so it's like a cycle, right? So when you eat, you're going to have some glucose. So it takes a couple weeks, Marge, to like burn through the extra glycogen and glucose that's like floating around in your body. And I walk you through that process really slowly so that you don't feel like starving or, of the first week or two, some people will have some, like headaches because they're really detoxing from like a lot of the sugar and things like that. But once you get through that, then it's kind of this constant cycle, but you're depleted. You've depleted so much of your glycogen at that point that, you're really trying to fill it up and fuel yourself so that you can start the process all again, Does that help? Does that answer it? And we also do some intermittent fasting. And that helps us burn through that glycogen as well and really stay in ketosis for a while so that our bodies can just burn that fat, right? But when you're eating the amount of protein that we eat, you're not hungry because you're stable. My ladies are usually by like week 2, like, do I have to eat another meal? And I'm like, you're ready. Like, you're ready to pull back. And that's when we start to adjust, and your body's, it's truly amazing when you tune into like the way it's supposed to fuel itself. It's really, really wild, like how it all works.
So I have one more question.
Yes,
so
please.
Are you primarily fueling then with the proteins that are chicken, beef, fish, or are you doing a lot of soy products or, alternative proteins?
So alternative proteins, I'm sorry for anyone who likes protein shakes. They're not good for you. So they essentially, you might as well eat a Snickers bar. So when you're doing a protein shake, it's already pulverized so much and processed. Your body just uses it as glucose and you're going to get an insulin spike. So we are primarily eating eggs and meat, chicken, fish. I personally primarily eat ground bison. I also eat elk and venison. You don't have to. I eat a lot of beef. I eat a lot of steak. I eat a lot of eggs. So that's primarily what we're eating. Yep. Any other questions before we move on to our testimonials? Jump in, Michelle.
Hi, ladies. So I have a question. Does this affect our thyroid at all?
Yes. So once you balance things out, there are a lot of women who have like Hashimoto's and those types of things where it's actually reversed itself and they've been able to get off their medication because this stabilizes everything and your hormones stabilize your thyroid. If you have thyroid challenges, they can improve. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good question. Yes. All right. If there are no more questions at this time, I would love to move into our testimonials. So these three ladies have been in the program. Amy and Kathleen have been in, they were in my very first pilot and then stayed in the second pilot and continuing on into, we have a monthly membership that we do. And then Gina came and joined us in the second pilot. So I will have each of them speak. I have one other hand. Mom, you have a question? Oh, you're not unmuted.
Yep. Hi, everyone. I just wanted to confirm what you said because I do have Hashimoto's. And it's funny, the last 2 weeks, Tanya, I don't even know if you know this, honey. I've only been taking because you hear so much bad stuff about that levothyroxine or whatever. I started taking it every other day the last couple weeks.
I did.
And yeah, I know you didn't. And I feel great. And I have to go to the endocrinologist in September, but I'm very hopeful that my numbers will be good. And actually, starting next week, I'm going to take it every third day because I feel no difference at all. I feel like I'm taking this little pill every morning with what is it doing? I'm just putting junk in my body. So yeah,
That's
yes to
awesome.
that.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Jen has a question.
Yes. How has your cholesterol level, what has it done since you've been on this?
So when you when you lose a lot of weight, your LDLs will automatically go up a bit because you have more free floating because things are moving around. So I did my numbers not too long ago. They're pretty much the same as they were 6 months ago. So, it hasn't really, although I will say my HDL and my triglycerides went down, HDL went up. So the biggest thing with cholesterol, ladies, and I teach this in the course, what you really want to look at is the ratio between your HDL and your triglyceride. You want to divide your triglycerides by your HDL and you want to have 2 or below. I'm at 0.8. 0.8. So I'm way below for metabolic health and cholesterol. So I'm in a good place. Good question, Jen. All right. So, Amy, would you mind going first?
Yeah, sure. No problem. Thanks, Tanya. Hi, everyone. It's good to see some familiar faces on here too. Welcome. So my story, about in 2023, I decided my New Year's resolution was like to get back, like to get healthy, right? And one of the big things that I decided to do was like to give up alcohol, right? So I'm like, if I'm serious, I want to lose weight, like I need to be more active. I eat pretty well, but like I'm going to do dry January and just like, let's give this up and see how I feel, right? So I did that. I felt fantastic. I just kept on going with it. And I incorporated, as the weather got better, I incorporated walks. I was doing fasting, intermittent fasting, and I cut out my late night snacking. So like I was feeling amazing, like listening to these self-help books. I was a big follower and still am of like Dr. Hyman and Dr. Berg. So like it was great. And that summer, like I just felt amazing. And I lost the craving to like drink and snack and eat and like late night eating and all that. And then I swear Halloween came that year of 23 and I totally fell off the rails. Like I truly think I became super addicted to sugar. And then into the holidays, like slowly I was just kind of like falling off the rails. And then in 2024, it just like progressively got worse. Like I didn't reel myself back in any way, shape, or form. So fast forward to 2025 and I'm like, okay, like now I have to be serious. I'd lost 25 pounds at that time. So I'm like, okay, I got to get back on track. I'm going to do what I did before because it totally worked, you know? And I found myself struggling in 2025, like same thing. Like, why isn't this working? I mean, I'm 47 years old. Like, you know, I know how to do all these things. It worked the first time. And it just like wasn't really working. And I was always kind of low carb. I ate a lot of salads. Definitely like don't have any dietary restrictions. I love food, just like Tanya mentioned too, you know? So I'm like, I need to try something different. So I kind of got into this carnivore thing where I'm like, let me learn more about it. I've heard such great things, but I didn't really know how to do it properly, right? So I guess then like kind of fast forward, like then enters Tanya and our daughters ended up being on the same volleyball, JO volleyball team together. And, I'm seeing her at least probably every week. And like she's looking great. And I'm like thinking, what the heck is like going on? Like, why can't I get jump started? And I will never forget this, Tanya. Scotty was picking up Claire from volleyball and you were there. And Scotty came home and he's like, I don't know, man. You need to talk to Tanya because she was talking to me about like how she eats and it's like seems really similar to this carnivore stuff you're into. Like, I think you need to talk to her about it. Like, you guys need to connect for sure. So we ended up having like some conversations talking about the insulin. I got the mojo. And I'm like, okay, like again, I still didn't really know what I was doing, but I knew that there was something like to be done. So again, Tanya, I will never forget. I think it was our last volleyball tournament and we're leaving and she had kind of done like a feeler for like a pilot program for this program. And I filled out this survey super honestly. And we were done with the tournament and we were on the way home and I'm like, oh my God, Scotty, like Tanya has to pick me. Like I have to do this. I know I will be so good if I have direction and guidance and just understand this a little bit better. So that's kind of where I am now. I started day after Mother's Day and I was super strict. Like I'm following this to the T and I generally have. It's been 13 and a half weeks for me. I've lost over 23 pounds and over 14 total inches. So when Tanya says like it's this euphoric feeling when you're in ketosis, like you'll just know it when you know it. And I'm taking my numbers, like I'm super religious about it all. And I understand like, life is life and we have to live it. And I totally do. But I am very in tune and I get reeled back in real quickly because I know where I was and how horrible I felt internally, at least. And I just don't want to go back there. So my skin feels great inside and out. I just feel super, super great. So I'm her biggest fan for sure. Just, again, like just proof that it does work. You have to be patient though. And you have to listen to your body. I will say that for sure. So that's my story.
Thank you so much. And
Sure.
you are gorgeous. You were always gorgeous, but she's glowing now. When I first lost, like for a while when I was on this, people were saying that word to me. They were like, "You're glowing." I'm like, "I am." And then Amy, like, it was like, when was that? Like 4 weeks ago? I don't know when it was. We were all like, "Amy, you're glowing." Because you're feeding you're nourishing yourself so well that it comes from the inside out. And Amy has rocked this program. She's an amazing supporter. She's a supporter to all the other women as well. I'm so grateful you're here. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any questions for Amy? Michelle.
Oh,
Can
hold
you
on.
see me? Hold on. Okay, it's Missy.
Hi, Missy.
Hi.
Missy has a question.
Okay, so hot flashes stop. Is that what you had mentioned? Tanya, did you say that hot flashes usually
So
stop?
for me, I didn't have the hot flashes where I was sweating, but my my gynecologist told me that my flushing is a form of a hot flash, and that has stopped. Yes.
Okay. It's
And
a big
many
one.
women report that their hot flashes reverse. Yes.
Okay.
And that's really the sugar. Remember we talked about that,
Yeah.
Missy? It's
Yeah,
the
you
sugar.
asked me if I had sugar. I said, yeah, last night.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Next up is Kathleen. Kath, are you here?
I'm here.
Hey, lady, you made it. Thank
I
you.
did. I made it. So busy girl I am, but I keep moving. So hi everybody. I'm Kathleen, and I've known Tanya from LG from 2023, and we were like, I was watching her, and I don't know, she started doing this program with herself and watching what she was doing, and she was like, I used to be sore, and I didn't feel good, and I go, everything she was saying, I go, that's me. I'm aching all the time. I don't feel good. And I knew I was gaining the weight. So I'll be honest with everybody. I'm 50. I'm going to be 59 in 1 month. And I'm going to my 40th class reunion coming up. And I just said, hey, I don't like how I feel anymore. I'm not, I don't like how I look anymore. But I was just like, I got to the heaviest point I was. And I'm like, okay, I got to do something. So I kept telling Tanya, I'm like, Tanya, you need to share what you're doing. I need to know. I need to sit down with you. You have to share with people. And then again, like Amy said, she put out like, I'm going to do a pilot program. And I'm like, pick me, like I'm going to be the best. I'm going to be the best student ever. So it came about that she has chosen her people. We're in the pilot program. And I'm going to tell you all, you women, it's a mindset too. It's truly a mindset, because I'm like, I am a foodie, love food, love cooking. I will try everything. I don't have any diet restrictions. I am not allergic to anything. I will eat everything. So, but I would always say, oh, I'm going to eat a little bit and push the food away. Yeah, I did that, but I still was saying the weight that I was always been. So I'm like, I tried, but it wasn't doing anything. So we start this program. I'm learning about it. And when they say carnivore, I love meats. I can eat meat all the time. And people are like, how do you eat a steak in the morning? I'm like, very easy. I rather eat meat over anything else. And I'm not a big sweet person, but I do like sweets. I don't crave them, but I will eat them. And as the program was going on, I noticed myself not craving certain things, but in my mind, I was missing certain things. Like I would go in a grocery store and I would smell fruit. I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I could have a peach, or oh my gosh, I wish I could have strawberries. And I would walk through that grocery store so quickly because I have a very good sense and smell. So I'm like running through the grocery store because I didn't want to smell anything that I couldn't eat. But when she taught us what time we were eating and what we were eating, it all made sense. And I'm like, there's no way I'm going to not eat 3 meals a day. It happened, and the weeks have gone by. I'm like, I'm full. I don't need my 3rd meal. And I'm like, this is crazy. And I'm like, because I love to eat, but I'm like, this is crazy. I don't need to eat because I was eating enough protein throughout the day, in the morning and the afternoon, that I really didn't need a big dinner or anything. My snacking, I was very loyal to not the snacking at all. I loved my tea in the evening hours. That was something I always did for myself, and it just really eased my mind, and also if I had any cravings, it would get away the cravings. One difficulty for me was the water intake. I still fight with that now, but I have my cup with me. I measure my water, and I take my thermos everywhere with me. Like, I go in a restaurant, I go in a bar, I go in something, and I'm like, this is my drink. And I know people say you have to give up the liquor and all that stuff. My new drink is a dirty martini. So clear alcohol eventually is okay. So that's my new drink. I've never drank martinis before, but I super love them now. And I think we're allowed tequila too. So, but you don't have to always give up everything that you love, but just be prepared and cautious of what you can do. And I'm not feeling the aches and pains anymore. Those are gone. And like Amy said, good job, Amy, with those inches. I have definitely lost inches in my waist, and especially in my legs. I always had great looking legs. And I'm like, I love wearing my skirts and everything with my high heels. And I stopped wearing that kind of stuff because I'm like, I don't like what my legs look like. So it's starting to come back. I've lost my inches, and my clothes are fitting better now. And I'm more happy about myself. And my husband has always been complimenting me throughout this whole entire journey of mine. And a lot of people are like, okay, when are you going to start your weight loss? When are you going to stop this program? I go, it's not a weight loss program. That's how I don't think of it this way. I think it's a life change. And I'm okay living like this and eating like this from now on. It's not, I think I'm happier personally. I'm healthier, I know, and the weight is coming off. And as you go through this, I'm on my 3rd time. So I'm like, I was losing a pound each week. It was just falling off. And I was excited to stand on that scale going, I lost another pound. I lost another pound. So it's exciting. And, my husband at first, nope, didn't want to do anything. And he's like, I'm going to start doing what you're doing, but he's not on the full board, but I'm like, he's watching what he's doing. And I don't know. I'm very happy. And I thank Tania every time I see her. I love how Tania looks, because now she's working on muscle tone, everything. And that's where I think my next goal is, more working on, I've lost the weight now. And I noticed skin on my neck was like, oh my God, that's like really weird to say, but on my neck, I saw it sagging a little bit. And I'm like, I got to do stretches. My arms need to be stretched more. I need to build muscle. And so that's what I want to do now, is build a little bit more muscle tone and everything, because Tania looks beautiful. Like, she's absolutely beautiful. And I'm like, it just inspires me that I can do the same. And everyone's different. Your goals are different. I lost 25 pounds. I would like to lose another 15 to 20 more. And if it happens, it happens, but I'm happy right now. And I know I can lose another 5 to 15 pounds, and just stay on the program, and just having the support of all the women on the program. So just want to thank you again, Tania.
Thank you so much. You are killing it. I love it. You look gorgeous. You're always gorgeous, but you look even more gorgeous, and you've got that glow coming to you, Kath. I love it.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you so much. All right. And now we have Gina. So Gina just was in the second pilot. So she's just finished up 6 weeks. Gina, are you still here with us?
I am.
Hi.
Hello. Hello, everyone. As Tanya said, my name is Gina Stanger. And unlike the other two ladies, I had to write my stuff down because you'll hear, I'm going through the whole perimenopause and my brain fog with this has definitely improved, but I don't want to forget anything. So I actually wrote a little thing. So I hope you're okay with that. Before starting this program, I was in a place I didn't recognize. Perimenopause had taken a toll on my body and my confidence. I had gained 20 pounds, and no matter what I tried, nothing seemed to work. I experimented with all kinds of workout routines, and I believed I was eating healthy, but I didn't realize that many of the foods I thought were good for me were actually holding me back. On top of that, I felt incredibly frustrated with a lack of answers from my primary doctor, who at one point even suggested a prescription diet medication. That was the low point for me. I knew there had to be a better, more sustainable way. I was so frustrated. I was emotional. I was crying to my husband. And then my prayers were answered. I was scrolling through Facebook, and I am personal friends with Amy, and she posted and raved about this program. I immediately was intrigued. I reached out to her. That night, she's telling me all about it. I'm like, that's it. Give me Tanya's information. Sent Tanya an email. That next morning, she reached out to me and I joined immediately. What did I have to lose? This program was a true turning point. I learned the science behind how my body works, especially during this phase of life. Understanding the role of food, not just calories, but how certain foods affect me was eye-opening. The education alone has been life-changing. I can't say enough about Tanya. I personally want to meet her and give her a hug one day. She is knowledgeable, supportive, and always there when I needed encouragement and guidance. The community of members is amazing. There is such a strong sense of support. We're all cheering on one another. Although I faced a setback in the first 6 weeks during a cortisone injection I had to receive from tendinitis, which again, we're all getting these little aches and pains. I'm proud to say, as of today, I have lost 10 pounds. More importantly, I feel empowered. I finally understand what my body needs to thrive, and I now have the tools to continue on this path to better health and lasting success. Thank you, Tanya and Amy.
Gina, you're so sweet. You have me like teary-eyed over here. I love that. Thank you so much. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Really
Thank
beautiful.
you.
And I'm so proud of you for sticking through this, because you did have that cortisone shot. It really threw Gina, because you guys, cortisol and cortisone is a cortisol shot. It raises your glucose and your insulin. So she was like, for what was it? Was it like 8, 9, 10 days, something it took you to get everything kind of stabilized?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she pushed through, she stayed with the plan, even though she was frustrated, and 10 pounds. Yes, that's amazing. So proud of you. That's awesome. All right. So any questions for any of the testimonial ladies, Amy, Kathleen, or Gina? Okay. See what time it is. So I want to move to make sure. All right. So let me just tell you what you should expect from the program. It is a 12-week comprehensive program. There are 6 weeks of lessons that are recorded. I've pre-recorded them. You can watch them at your own pace, but it's designed so that you watch them 1 a week. And then there's follow-up work, or like homework, that goes with each lesson. And then weekly, we have a live video coaching call. So right now we do those on Thursdays at noon, where you can ask questions, you can share your wins. We just are together in community. And if you cannot make those sessions, we record those, and you have access to that session and all the sessions we've ever done. We also have a private Facebook group where we, again, ask questions. The ladies will ask me questions. They ask each other questions, and we share each other's wins, and we share food that we're eating, and we just kind of share our lives so we can just always feel like we're, in this together. It also comes with a meal plan guide that I am constantly adding to. So I have recipes that I put in there, but I also tell you how much to eat, when to eat, and I give you lots of ideas for different recipes. And I'm not really a recipe person, but I've tried my hardest. But it's simple. Everything's really simple, nothing crazy. I also have a movement guide that I've put in there for you. So I tell you how to move. And I will tell you, the majority of my weight that I lost, I actually stopped lifting weights, and I stopped doing my regular HIIT workouts and stuff like that. All I was doing was walking 30 minutes a day, and then we squat after we eat so that we can get our legs. Our leg muscles are the biggest muscles in our body, and we need them to absorb that free floating glucose so it helps us dip into that glycogen. So anyway, the majority of my weight, that's how I lost it. It was very, very simple. In the movement guide, I also have a 6-week weightlifting plan. If you like to weightlift, you don't have to. I love it. And it's 3 days. So there's I do it on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You can do it whenever you want, 3 days a week. So it divides it up in between full body and then upper body and then legs. So that is a part of the guide as well. And then there's a deep dive resource library where I have links to all the people and all the learning and everything that I can think of, I throw in there. Also, a lot of the products that I use, I try to remember to throw those in there. And these things are constantly being updated. So I have, I'll show you real quick. Jamie, I see your question. I'll get to you in 1 second. I wanted to show you the workbook. Where is it? I had it up here for you. And I put it next to it. Here it is. So let me share this tab instead. All right, so this is my Divine Design Weight Loss Program workbook. It's about 60 pages or so right now, but this is, you'll get this when you sign up, and it has everything you need in it. It actually has all the lessons in it. You can click through to all the lessons. Every week is in here. And then I don't want you to get dizzy, so let me scroll for a second here. So my meal plan guide, where's the front cover? So the meal plan guide is here, and it has what you can eat and different protein unit chart in it, and then all kinds of different recipes and things like that. And then I also have that movement guide that's in here as well with all the different workouts and things like that. So anyway, so this comes with the program as well. So you will get that. And again, I update it. I'm updating it all the time, and you'll just have that update. Okay, before I move on, Jamie, you had a question?
I did want to say something, and I'm not a public speaker, so that's why I'm not doing a testimonial. But I wanted to assure people that, first of all, I've done 2 rounds of Tania's program, 2 rounds, 2 6-week rounds, I think they were. And I started a little earlier because I had been in contact with Tania, and I am down more than 25 pounds. But my thing I want to tell people is it's not like you will never eat French fries and dessert again. And not an alcoholic, but I drink, I go out, I socialize, I do all of the things. So I want to clarify that if anyone's looking to join, don't be afraid. You're not going to not eat these foods again. So whether that's good or bad, it's realistic. And I just want to say that.
Yeah.
Because I think that's scary if people go into it thinking, I'm never going to eat, French fries again, or I'm never going to have dessert again, because life happens.
Yeah.
But, and Tania teaches you how to work around those kind of things. So yeah. I just want to assure people that, life does happen, and those aren't off, the table forever.
Yeah, no, that's really important, Jamie, that you bring that up, because what I've really tried to do with this program is I want to teach you how your body works and how it fuels itself and how to get rid of all the things that are making you not feel well. And I'm also really realistic. Like, you know, being socializing is a very important piece to our health and well-being. And, you know, there are times like Jamie went to like Italy or something. I'm like, eat the pasta. Like, you're in Italy. Are you kidding me? You know, I mean, and once you understand how your body works, it's, you know what you need to do to like fix it. And then you do, you know, it's like that simple. And then it's all based in science too. And we're testing ourselves. So like, it's not a guessing game. Like, it is not a guessing game. I'm telling you right now, I'm burning fat because my ketones were, you know, at the level that I know that they were this morning. And so I know I'm burning fat today. Like, there's no guessing. It's not like, oh, I'm trying this diet. Like, is it working? I don't know. No, it's working. Like, it's working. And some of my girls, like Amy can attest to this. I know, like, there's times when you're not losing weight off the scale, and the scale is one measurement. And I tell the ladies this all the time. It's one measurement. It's one measurement. Stick with it. Stick with it. Stick with it. Your weight is, you know, high or like, you know, not dropping, but your ketones are up. And I'm like, you're burning fat. It's just switching into muscle. You're recomping. And sure enough, they'll get on to the next week and they're like, I lost 3 pounds. I'm like, I know. It's awesome. It's so much fun. So much fun. Michelle, I see you have a question.
It's me, Missy.
Oh, hi, Missy.
Hi. Okay. So is coffee out of the picture, or can we have coffee?
Really good question. Okay. So here's the thing with coffee. Coffee raises your cortisol, which releases glucose and insulin. However, every body, you'll hear me say this so much, is different. My husband, okay, I don't drink coffee. I never have. So for me, it's like a non-issue. But my husband drinks coffee. He has like 1 or 2 cups a day. And he started eating this way when I, you know, several weeks into me eating this way, he decided, he was like, okay, I got to do this. And he has never stopped, and he has lost weight. His muscles are forming, like, so he's been totally fine with it. Now, some of my ladies, they'll be like, oh, I can't get my ketones up. And I'm like, are we still doing coffee? And they'll usually say yes, you know, and I'm like, okay, well, let's try it. Let's try it and see what happens. Let's do half cap. Like, so it really depends, Missy. Some people are more sensitive to caffeine than other people. So it like really depends. And also, if you're putting crap in your coffee, we got to talk about that too, right? So like a creamer is actually fine unless it's affecting your numbers. And we only know that once we get in there and get the data for you. Again, every single person is different. Your body reacts differently to foods, like everyone, you know, so it depends is my bigger answer.
Okay. Yeah. Like, cause I use like 0 sugar creamer because I think that's better for me, but I don't know, you know, I don't know, but
The best thing for you is like full
2 o'clock. I want that nap every day.
Yeah.
You know, it's
because the full fat is best for you. So like, yeah, if you were having like full fat creamer, you know, we can talk through things that you can try, and then we can see what it does to your numbers and to your energy, which it sounds like, you know, for you, that would be a big indicator is your energy. But you know, I mean, ideally, ultimately on the bigger, larger scale of things is, you know, what I love for you not to have coffee. Yes, because it's wreaking havoc on your system, and I can give you resources for you to learn from. I also understand it's a huge dependency for a lot of people. So we have to be realistic, but once you start eating this way and living this way, you do get, like Kathy said, like you get this mind shift change, and you kind of like, you want to do better, and you want to like eat because you're like, wait, I feel so good. Like, I just want to keep feeling better, you know? And maybe not. My husband still drinks his coffee, you know? So it's like,
yeah.
And he won't drink organic coffee. So I tried.
So yeah, kind of like wait and see like how it
You
works.
got to wait and see. I tell my ladies, you got to wait and see. And like, even with cheese and dairy, like everyone's different. So let's see, how is it affecting you? Like, what is it doing to your numbers? Let's pull back from it. So it just, everything is like this, you know, and then it changes as your bodies change, as you build more muscle, as you become more metabolically flexible, everything starts to change again. So it's like, you know, the first 6 weeks, and then maybe 12, I would say. Like those are the ones where you really want to like dial it in, right? And that's what I'll help you do. And we really start to play around with your numbers, and we do it slowly so you don't feel like, you know, everything changes right away, you know.
So how are we checking our numbers?
So
what do you mean by?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we test our numbers with something called a Keto Mojo. And it is it's a finger prick. So anyone who doesn't like that, we can talk about different ways to do that. But every morning, an hour after we wake up, we prick our finger and we have these little testers, and we test our glucose and we test our ketones. And then we keep that data, and that data helps me individualize for you. And then eventually my job is to help you individualize for yourself. So you start to learn like, oh, these were my numbers this morning. This is why my numbers this way. Now I need to adjust. So the amount of protein that I'm eating, or less dairy or more dairy, or like it all like, you know, like I said, everyone's different. Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Mom, do you have a question or a comment? Oh, you're muted.
Okay. I just have a comment, just real quick.
Yes, please.
And I know I'm her mom, and, you know, I adore her and love her, and everything she does is fabulous. But the thing, ladies, that is, besides the weight loss, and I lost 20 pounds from November to February, I lost 20 pounds, is the insight and the education that Tania gives us about food and about reading labels, you know, like just seed oils alone. You know, people don't understand that you have to use avocado oil or olive oil. I mean, all the education that she will give you, it's unbelievable. The weight will absolutely melt off. Absolutely. It melts. It's amazing. The fat, you just feel the fat. And it's like one day, I don't know, it took me like a week, and then all of a sudden I'm down 2 pounds, the next day 3 pounds, the next, you know, it's just amazing. But besides that, it's how good you feel inside. Everybody's talked about that. We didn't talk about bloating, Tania, how you wake up in the morning and you are not bloated. You feel so thin. It's just incredible. It really is. So the education, besides the weight loss that you get, the education you will learn from Tania is just amazing. And you don't want to eat something because you understand what it's going to do to your body. So you make a life choice that not all the time, you know, not all the time. You slip up, but you know what you need to do to get back on track. And you know, when you look at something that you're not supposed to eat, you make a choice. Like, that's not good for me. I'm not going to do it. So that's all I wanted to say.
No, that's great. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah. I was going to say something on one of the things you said, and I lost it, but thank you. That's really helpful.
Bloating, maybe?
Nope, wasn't bloating. Oh yeah, it was bloating because you guys, so I gained a lot of my weight in my stomach. I mean, my stomach, it was so big. But every morning, like I walk by, in order to get to my bathroom, I have to walk by my mirror, and I still do it every day. And I just pull up my shirt, and I can't believe how flat my belly. Like, I can't believe it. Even when I was like 20 and like, you know, didn't have weight on me, I never had like a flat tummy. I always had this like little pooch, always. I thought I just had a pooch. I thought that was like my pooch. I don't have a pooch. It's just flat. It's crazy, 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 crazy. Okay, so let's wrap this up, ladies. So I want to put some things in your head here. What would you give to finally lose the weight that's been holding you back for years? Because for me, I would have given a whole lot. Let me tell you. What would you give to wake up every day with energy, confidence, and clarity? That's what happens here. What would it be worth to you? What would it be worth to silence that negative self-talk? I don't know if you all have it as much as I do, and start loving the body you're in. And how much would it mean to you if the inflammation, the brain fog, and the daily aches disappeared? That's what we're talking about. And what would it be worth to you to feel 10, even 20 years younger in body, mind, and spirit. I'm telling you, I feel like I'm aging backwards. I keep telling people that. You feel like you're aging backwards. And I think we are. I really think we are. I believe that. So if there was a clear, proven path to achieve all of this, would you say yes? Would you say yes if it was guaranteed? And, you know, I have my mom here tonight. I have Jamie here tonight, and our 3 ladies that gave the testimonials. That's a small fraction of the people that I have seen go through this program and have so much success. This isn't like it works for one person and not another, ladies. This is it. Like, this is the magic, right? All right, so I've priced out. I like calculated everything, and this is what I do believe this program should be and could be worth. Okay, it's not, but this is what, when I did all my calculations. So you have 6 weeks of lessons in the follow work. I valued that at $1,500. The weekly live coaching sessions, remember that's for 12 weeks. I valued that at $1,500. And then all the access to the archived replays, again, another $1,500. The private Facebook group and the questions and the support. And I did this, ladies, by using my hourly rate. I'm a consultant, so I used my hourly rate, okay? The meal plan guide, I valued it at $500. It took me hours and hours and hours, and I build it all the time. I'm a learner, you guys. And so, like my mom said, how I'm constantly learning. And when I learn that stuff, I bring it to you. And in our live sessions, that's what we're going to be moving to. We just talked about it, the ladies. I'm going to be bringing whatever I'm learning that week, because it's always something new, and I'm going to be bringing that to our live sessions. So I'm really excited to start that too. Movement guide valued at $400. The deep dive resource library valued at $200. So this is over $7,000, truly, like when I add it all up together. Okay. I did a similar program that inspired this program. I paid close to $1,500, and I would have quadrupled that for the weight I lost and for how good I feel. That program now is about $2,000. Okay. Right now, this 12-week program is $297. All right. You can spend $297 in a week. You know, I don't know. That's like half my grocery bill. I don't know about you guys. Or going out to 2 or 3 nights in a row, right? $297. So because I did the pilot program, my first pilot program, I did at no charge, because these ladies, I just needed them to help me out, and they were so gracious and they helped me out. My second program, I charged about $99 because I was still working through a lot of things. And this is now the soft launch. So the full program will be double this amount. When I have it, I have one more piece that I'm completing, and that's just taking the lessons and putting them on a platform, rather than just you guys having the links to them. That's the only piece that's missing. So you'll have 24 hours to join at this divine price. Do you like my little play on words? Sorry, can't help but be cheesy. So that's it, you guys. It's $297 for this. What I'm going to do right now, because we are going to move into, we did questions. If you have any more questions, I can answer them. We're going to do a drawing. So I know we're past, I said an hour and we're past that. But before we do that, I want to put this link to the program, how you can purchase it, because if you go to my website, it's at the regular price. So this is the link that you can use. So you can jump on there and you can purchase the program right now for $297. You'll have 24 hours to do that. I'll send you a reminder email as well. Okay. And you can jump in for that price. Wait a minute. That's the presentation. That's not the, oh no, it is. That's right. Sorry. Can you guys see that link in the chat? Yes. Okay. All right. So questions before I pick. I put all your names in right here. They're all right here. And I'm going to put them, I got to find like a hat or a basket, and I'm going to pull a name and I'm going to give somebody a free program. Okay. So what questions do you have before I move on? No questions. Okay. All right. I'm going to go find a basket. I should have had my basket prepared and I did not. I'm not prepared. They have stickies on the back. Hold on. I'll be right back. Oh, we're going to pull them out of an iPhone bag. Michelle has a question. Go ahead, Michelle.
I do. Where do we get this device to be pricking our finger?
You can get it on Amazon, and
Okay.
yeah, that link is in my resource tab. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
And you don't need that right away because
Okay.
there's no point in testing your numbers the first week. I could tell you what they are mostly.
Okay.
We usually start that like the second. I start at the second and into the third week.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? We need a drum roll. Can you guys drum roll? I'm so nervous. I really am. Who am I gonna pick? I don't know. I'm so scared. Megan, are you still here? You have to be here to win. Megan, are you here?
I'm here. I'm here.
I'm so excited. If you want it, do you want it?
Heck yeah. That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Megan, I know from Leadership Yoga. I love her. She is the best of the best. I'm so happy. Yes, I'm excited. Okay.
Thank you. This is great.
Yes.
I'm filling the thing out right now.
I'll send you all your info. Okay. You'll get
Okay,
everything.
perfect.
Okay. All right. We're going to end tonight on this quote. This is one of my favorite quotes by Maya Angelou. Do the best you can until you know better. And then when you know better, do better. And that's what we get to do here, you guys. We get to do better because we know better and we learn how to fuel ourselves the proper way, and everything changes. And it's a beautiful thing. I'm going to stop my share.
Yay.
So thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you for taking time out of your evenings and your busy schedules. To all my ladies who did my testimonials, and to my mom and Jamie for coming on and supporting me. I really appreciate it. I love you all so much, and I'm so grateful that you're all here. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Tanya.
Thanks, Tanya.
You're welcome. All right. Have a great night. I'll send you information. Yay, my God.